Welcome back to The Deep Dive, the show engineered to cut through all that information noise. We take the stack of articles and notes you've sent us, and we pull out the most impactful, the most fascinating knowledge.
Right.
Our mission today is pretty simple. We're going to give you a quick but genuinely thorough understanding of a staple ingredient that's, well, it's really defined modern skincare.
It really has.
Today, we're plunging into the world of alpha hydroxy acids, and we're focusing our entire deep dive on glycolic acid.
The big one.
Everyone knows the name. It's on, like, every other serum and toner bottle. It's probably the most famous chemical exfoliant out there. But the exact mechanics of why it works so powerfully and some of its surprising benefits, they often get overlooked. Okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it. So to start, glycolic acid is structurally the smallest of the alpha hydroxy acids, the AHAs.
And that's a critical detail, right? The size?
It's everything. That tiny molecular size gives it this amazing ability to penetrate the skin's surface. It's a water-soluble acid, and you'll find it's derived from sugarcane, but honestly, most of what we use now is made synthetically.
For consistency, I'm guessing, purity.
Exactly. And its main job, as the research clearly lays out, is to exfoliate and brighten.
You know, that water-soluble part is something I want to zero in on for a second, because that small water-loving structure is really the key to understanding how it works, especially for our audience who's already tracking these kinds of details.
Absolutely. So think about your skin's surface. Being water-soluble means glycolic acid works on that surface, dissolving the bonds between dead skin cells.
The corneocytes?
The corneocytes, yes. But it struggles to get through oil, so it can't really penetrate deep inside a pore that's full of sebum.
Okay, so if you're listening and you're mainly dealing with, say, surface dullness, maybe some roughness or texture issues, glycolic acid is your powerhouse.
It's the one.
But if your main thing is, like, deep blackheads or cystic acne rooted in oil buildup inside the pore, that's where you might need something else.
That's where you look at an oil-soluble BHA, like salicylic acid. You'd use that to complement it.
So glycolic acid is the master of the surface.
That comparison is vital. It really frames how you should be selecting products. It's incredibly effective at what it does, which is improving surface quality. But it's important to know what it doesn't do compared to its cousins.
Right. So moving to applications, where do you actually find this stuff? I think most of us see it in serums, toners, and those intense wash-off peels for the face. And the purpose is always the same. Exfoliation, refining cells, and just improving texture.
But what's really fascinating here, and something a lot of people miss, is that it's not just for facial care. The research we looked at pointed to its growing role in hair care.
Okay, that's interesting. Shifting from a facial treatment to something for your hair. That's the kind of detail that makes this worthwhile. So if its job is refining cells on the face, what is it doing on the hair?
Well, first, the scalp is skin. It benefits from exfoliation, just like your face does.
Good point.
But even more, when you put it on the hair shaft itself, glycolic acid uses that exfoliating nature to remove external buildup.
Oh, like from products, dry shampoo, silicones?
Exactly. All that residue from styling products, minerals from hard water, it's acting like a gentle but really effective clarifying agent.
So it's just stripping away that superficial gunk.
Precisely. By removing that grime, it leaves the hair cuticle smoother and cleaner, which then reflects light better.
And that's where the shine comes from.
That's why the source is connected to increased shine. It's the same mechanism removing debris, just on a different surface. It really shows you how versatile that little molecule is.
That's a great aha moment. It's all about making the surface uniform, whether that's your cheek or a strand of hair. Okay, let's go back to the skin, which is its main job. We've sort of synthesized its effectiveness into 4 core benefits. This is the good stuff.
The first and the most foundational one is its powerful exfoliating action. This is the cornerstone. Its small size lets it slip between the dead cells on the surface. Now, don't think of it as sanding your skin. Think of it more like dissolving the glue.
The glue being those sticky bonds holding all the old, dull cells together.
Exactly. Glycolic acid helps break those attachments. It's a keratolytic action, and that lets the cells shed naturally and, more efficiently.
And once that happens, the skin just looks smoother right away.
It does. And pores are less likely to get clogged.
And this efficient shedding, it sort of creates a snowball effect, right? Because once you get that cell turnover moving faster, the long-term benefits start to pile up.
They absolutely do. When you constantly encourage fresh, new cells to rise to the surface, that's the key to minimizing the look of fine lines and shallow wrinkles over time. You're basically signaling the skin to renew itself.
It's amazing how that one primary action exfoliation cascades right into benefit number 2, brightening. Most people use it for brightness, but understanding that link between the shedding and the fading really gives you an appreciation for the chemistry.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's invaluable for anyone dealing with pigmentation, hyperpigmentation, whether that's from the sun, melasma, or, those marks left after a breakout. It's basically damage trapped in older layers of skin.
So if you're just waiting for a dark spot to fade on its own, that could take months or longer.
Correct. Glycolic acid just speeds up the delivery time.
Mm-hmm.
By aggressively exfoliating away those pigmented cells on the surface, you reduce the time that spot is visible. You're accelerating the healing process.
Which leads to a more even-toned, radiant look much faster than your body could do on its own.
Much faster.
Okay, now, benefit number 3 is maybe the most surprising thing from the research. It totally challenges the idea that acids are just drying or stripping.
Right.
Glycolic acid actually helps with hydration.
This is really counterintuitive for a lot of people. The sources explain that it doesn't just clear away old cells. It prompts the underlying layers of the skin to work better.
How so?
Specifically, it promotes the production of things like hyaluronic acid within the dermis itself.
So it's not hydrating like a cream you put on top. It's actually empowering the skin to build its own moisture reserves from the inside.
Oh.
That seems fundamentally better.
It is. You're building resilience. Topical hyaluronic acid is great, but by stimulating your skin's own production, you help it hold on to water more effectively. You get that plumping effect from within.
And that leads perfectly into our 4th and final benefit, which really just pulls all the others together. Dramatically improved skin texture.
It makes sense. If you take an ingredient that is dissolving the bonds between rough patches, speeding up the arrival of smooth new cells, and plumping the skin with internal moisture.
The combined result is just a smoother surface.
Surface uniformity. It transforms the skin from a bumpy, uneven surface into a smoother canvas. Light reflects better, makeup goes on more smoothly.
So it's not just about removing a few rough spots.
No, it's the consistent, even nature of that accelerated cell turnover that creates a uniform look and feel. It addresses everything from roughness to minor scarring.
That covers the mechanism beautifully. But with any powerful ingredient, knowing how to use it is just as important as knowing what it is.
Absolutely.
Glycolic acid is potent, so we need to talk about proper usage and safety. For you listening, this is how you apply that knowledge safely.
The sources are very clear on this. Safety all comes down to concentration and the pH level. Glycolic acid is considered safe, but only when used in appropriate concentrations. That one phrase changes everything.
Okay, let's break that down. If I see a product that says 5% glycolic acid, what am I getting versus, say, a 30% peel?
So a low concentration, maybe 5 to 8%, is usually for a toner or serum meant for daily or close to daily use. It's for maintenance, gentle renewal. A high concentration, anything over 15%, is a short contact peel. You'd use maybe once a month. That high concentration maximizes the exfoliating effect, but it also maximizes the risk of irritation, or worse.
And that difference in strength is exactly why some people get irritated. I hear people worry that aggressive exfoliation will, strip the skin or damage the barrier long term.
They're right to worry. And the research addresses that. It comes down to dosage and starting slow. If you jump straight to a high concentration, you absolutely risk damaging your skin's barrier.
Which leads to redness and sensitivity.
Exactly. The key is gradual introduction. Start with a low concentration, maybe a couple times a week, and let your skin build tolerance.
That suggests we need to be really mindful of frequency. If I'm using a glycolic body wash, then a glycolic toner the next morning, and a peel on the weekend.
You're setting yourself up for trouble. You're compounding the effect, even if each product is safe on its own.
This raises an important question then. How do you integrate this safely?
Well, the first thing is to follow the product instructions to the letter. But more importantly, always patch test new products with glycolic acid. Always.
Behind the ear or on the neck?
Yep, just a small amount. That simple step is crucial for checking your own skin's sensitivity before you put a powerful acid all over your face.
That's the ultimate takeaway for application then. Respect the chemical, start slow, and always test first.
The benefits are incredible, but only if you manage it correctly.
So what does this all mean? We've taken this deep dive into glycolic acid, defining it as that small water-soluble AHA from sugarcane that's versatile enough for both your face and your hair.
Right.
Its power comes from four synergistic actions: that intense bond-dissolving exfoliation, targeted brightening by speeding up cell turnover, that unexpected hydration boost from stimulating your own hyaluronic acid, and it all comes together for dramatically improved skin texture.
And we know its benefits are completely dependent on concentration, making proper use so important. So given that its effectiveness and safety rely so much on appropriate concentrations, consider this for a moment.
Okay.
We know the acid's job is to remove buildup. If you were formulating a product, what key ingredient would you add after the glycolic acid step to make sure that new skin barrier stays protected and calm? That selection process is the next layer of insight that builds on today's deep dive.